What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trinity, and well, today I've got you the undefeated EXODIA deck profile. If you guys didn't see it in action, please check out the link in the description to my channel, or just go to the channel, or if you're not subscribed already, there is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Day episode featuring this deck in action, and I pretty much just go over it. First time playing it, by the way, and then we go undefeated with it. It was pretty wild. Also, if you are new to the channel, please destroy that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button for me, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. And if also today, if you guys haven't noticed, the new My Hero movie just came out, so I'm gonna try to get this video done as quick as possible. I do want it up today for you guys. For those of you who are watching it today, I will be going to the movies, watching this movie. I cannot wait. But for those of you on my thoughts about this deck, it's not without its, pros and cons. There's a few things that are a little weak about it still. I think there needs to be a better way of not you guaranteed losing if you lose one of your pieces of EXODIA. Like, if you guys didn't watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Day episode, Runic is probably like the worst matchup you could possibly have if you're not going first. Because the minute they banish one of your EXODIA pieces, it's pretty much a wrap. Like, you have to get Fires of Rage in the graveyard somehow, and somehow get it to resolve by banishing it, and then shuffling all of your pieces that are in your grave or banished back into the deck. But then Fires of Rage is like your greatest weapon, and now that it's banished and you've already used it, it's kind of already in a bad spot, so you really have to rely on Obliterate Blaze to destroy the spells and traps and equip all the pieces of EXODIA. But the deck is also very, very crazy good. So without that being said, I would rate this deck maybe like 7 out of 10 stars. But anyway, guys, let's just go ahead and get into this deck profile. All right, you guys, so of course we are obviously playing all 5 EXODIA pieces, so that, because this is obviously the entire theme of the deck is playing all the 5 pieces of EXODIA. The one card that probably cut is the legendary EXODIA Incarnate. It never ever came up. It's practically just a terrible brick. You gotta tribute an EXODIA piece basically just to summon this thing. It only gets 1,000 attack, and sure, you get to like draw cards based on the number of EXODIA pieces in your hand, but it's a pretty terrible card. So I could probably live without this card being in the deck. And of course, triple copies of the Heart of Blue Eyes. This card is absolutely amazing. It's disruption for your opponent, and it gives you a Millennium Ankh. For those of you who haven't really known what this does, you discard it to the graveyard. Well, you just discard the card, sorry. You discard this card, you add a Millennium Ankh from your deck to your hand, and if you successfully activate a Millennium Ankh this duel, if your opponent summons a monster basically with 3,000 or more attack, or level 8 or higher, you can send that monster to the graveyard and special summon Heart of Blue Eyes from the graveyard. Absolutely insane card. And next, I was playing triple copies of Shield of the Millennium Dynasty. Pretty much all it does is add Millennium Ankh. I only had 2 copies of these, but I might play 3, just because of the fact that it searches any Millennium monster. What's also great about this deck is the fact that they treat themselves as spells when you use their effect. So like, you're resolving like a spell effect, so they can't like imperm or anything like that till basically it's too late. So these cards are absolutely insane. And I was playing 2 Golem. This card is pretty important to get out on the field, just so that way your opponent can't negate your Millennium Ankh. This also lets you search the Waju Temple, which I actually really like that card. For hand traps, triple Dimension Shifter, pretty busted that you can activate that card. The only thing you really lose with Shifter is when you use the Heart of Blue Eyes effect, you're not really going to be able to get that disruption effect where if it's in the graveyard, you can send their monster. But I mean, having a Shifter over that, I would kind of take that any day, since a lot of decks are weak to Shifter. And just double Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, double Moltres Perlia. I would probably play the other one, but I only have access to the Perlia right now. But funny enough, with decks like Yubel and I can't really name a lot of other ones right now. There's a lot of decks that summon a lot from the hand right now, so I really like this one at the moment. Obviously, because I don't have the new one yet, we haven't really been able to try it and see what it's like. But there's a lot of decks that still summon a lot from the hand. So Molten Aprilia is just going to be main deck, because you're not always going to go, you know, first with this deck and being able to set up your board. And just due to the fact that you being able to draw extra cards, and like, you know, if your opponent gets just super greedy and you activated, if you want to get super greedy and you actually activated both and you're just drawing double cards, you know, you might just end up drawing all 5 pieces of EXODIA and you might just win right there and then. But, you know, the chances of that are very slim. But if you already had like 1 or 2 pieces in your hand, then you never know. Your luck might just be on your side. And if you are going first, it's not really dead because of the field spell, the Wedju Temple, because if you end up going first, you don't need to set a Millennium one from your hand to the field. You can just go Temple, set this to your field, set whatever one you need from your deck, and then you can just combo off from there. 1 Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode, just to deal with like really obnoxious boards. You can't, the only thing that I'm kind of troubled about is the fact that you can't really target it or attack it. So there's going to be some way of trying to like either wait or just destroy it during your opponent's turn. You know, you just set up your EXODIA board, and then with your Exile Obliterate or, you know, Rage, you just blow up whatever they have on their field. It's just being able to get rid of all their pesky cards, and who knows, if they don't end up even using it, which they probably will, somehow it'll end up back to you. But there was one board I ended up just completely nuking with this and Dark Hole, but Dark Hole is actually in the side deck right now, but it's just if you see it, you see it. Moving on to the spell cards, Triple Millennium Ankh. This is the heart and soul of the deck. You obviously want to play 3 of this. The fact that it shuffles itself back into the deck is really good. It never felt bad opening 1, because it's just like, okay, I can really bait my opponent into just searching for this thing, them not knowing I already have one in my hand. And it just feels so much better when you reveal the Millennium Ankh instead of paying 2,000 life points to activate your Millennium Monster's effect. So I definitely want to play 3 of that. I might cut this down to 2, but I do like 3 Temple just because I don't have maxed out Millennium Monsters. It just allows you to set 1 monster from your hand to the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, and then place a Millennium one. And if they were to be destroyed by a battle or a card effect, they basically get the Crystal Beast effect where you can put them back into your spell and trap zone. Also, the other field spell we're playing is Secret Village of the Spellcasters. This card is a blowout to a lot of decks, especially because we're sitting on a crazy unstoppable EXODIA monster that can negate spells and traps. They're not going to really kill him by battle unless they negate his effects. And then the fact that he's a spellcaster, you're not going to have to worry about board wipes, because I literally had to go first, obviously, against like a Tenpai matchup. I set up EXODIA with Secret Village of the Spellcasters. He was unable to use any of his board breakers, which I'm pretty sure he had in his hand, because he didn't even activate a card. He was just like, yeah, I can't get over Secret Village, we'll just go to the next game. And then of course the Terraforming to be able to search for any of the field spells I might need. Obviously most of the time we're searching for the Secret Village of the Spellcasters, because Wedju Temple is very searchable due to the Golem. And for more board breakers, Super Palmerization, the one-ofs, 1 Pot of Prosperity, 1 Obliterate Blaze, and 1 Called by the Grave. Now onto our traps, just triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, 1 Angel Statue, and then 1 Exiled Fires of Rage. I might bump that up to 2, maybe have 1 in the side deck, just in case whatever matchup you might have, you might just need that extra copy, and to bump your chances of shuffling back your Forbidden 1 pieces, just in case they get in your graveyard or banished, just in case. Alright you guys, that was it for the main deck. Now onto the extra deck, which I'm still kind of experimenting with. So we're playing 2 copies of the Unstoppable EXODIA Incarnate. Our Super Poly targets Garura, Yubel, the Lover and Defender Forever, Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Now this, most of the time, I was really only summoning, like, for this entire deck, we were really only summoning, like these 4 right here. Well, actually, these 5, actually. These were, like, really the only 5 monsters I summoned out of this deck. You know, we're obviously still experimenting with this deck, trying to test out different things. But, anyway, we'll just move on.
Obviously with our links, you saw the Silhouette Rabbit, the Nightmare Phoenix, SP Little Knight, Donner Dagger for hire, just to be able to just destroy a pesky monster on the field, IP Masquerena, Nightmare Unicorn, Access Code Talker, and then for XCs we got our Super Slayer, Typhon, Hope Harbinger, which never really ever came up, and then Psychic End Punisher, which never ended up coming up either, just because you need to get a tune around the field, which is probably going to be your Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Might cut that for something else just in case, because you never really have to normal summon in this deck a lot, so I guess I could understand normal summoning a hand trap and then being able to synchro summoning making this. But honestly, I would rather swing with EXODIA than this thing. But I guess it's just like if EXODIA gets negated or something, then you just normal summon your Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and then just make Psychic End Punisher, because this is a life point based deck and he thrives in a life point based deck. Now my side deck isn't really anything interesting, it's just kind of just experimenting. Just 2 Droll and Lockbird, 3 Ghost Sister Spooky Dogwood. I almost was considering maining this just because we are a life point based deck and EXODIA gains attack based on your life points, and it would definitely throw off your opponent if you started off with that game 1. But I didn't get to really make the side deck I wanted because I couldn't find certain cards. We played triple Crossout Designator just in case for pesky hand traps or even board breakers that might threaten it. 2 Regeki, 2 Dark Hole, 1 Feather Duster, and 1 Evenly Match. The one thing I was actually wanting to play Crossout for was like Cosmic Cyclone, just in case I end up having to put an EXODIA piece onto the field with the Waju Temple and they try to Cosmic Cyclone, banishing my piece of EXODIA, which would obviously threaten my chances of winning. So I just wanted to try to play Crossout for that, but it didn't come up, or I couldn't even find my cards. But that's kind of what I wanted to do with this deck. But anyway, guys, if you like this deck profile, please try this deck out for yourself. It's really, really fun. Please just destroy that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button for me, and I will see you guys in the next one.